What's up, everybody? I just wanted to jump on and in this video talk a little bit about how to recognize your purpose, your role in this world, and what you might be here to do. Every single one of us has a different purpose, but we are all here to raise the consciousness of Earth and the universe itself and to evolutionize humanity and our souls individually. As within, so without, as the universe, so the soul, as above, so below. Everything that happens outside of us is a reflection and a mirror that is happening inside of us. And on a global scale, you can witness this in government, in religions. You can see belief systems everywhere. So I want to talk a little bit more about, on a personal level, how you can change internally to witness a change on the outside. We have to be the change we want to see in others and in the world. So on a personal level, that would be in our career, in our relationships. And then on a global scale, it could be what we see in our government and what that means for our future. It hits every point a little bit different. So you're going to see it on an internal shift fast. It's going to take a little bit longer to see it on the outside, and then it's going to take a little bit longer to see it in a more wide range view. There's a ripple effect when it comes to change and changing the structure of our DNA, our belief systems, all that good stuff, eradicating generations and generations of beliefs. We are moving from an age of Pisces, which has been here for the last 2,000 years and will continue for another 150. We'll be moving out of the age of Pisces around 2160. Pisces and the age of Pisces has been all about religion and faith, beliefs, just believing something without really having any evidence to back it up. That's why Christianity and Catholicism has been so huge in our evolution in humanity. We've built a lot of compassion over this time too. It might not seem like it with all the wars and everything that's going on, but we have. There's a lot of compassion out there. It's just not always covered. We're now moving into an age of Aquarius, which is a scientific, intellect, structured sign. Pisces is mutable, which means it's adaptive. It's good with change, chaos. Aquarius is a fixed air sign, so this is more about hard communication, scientific evidence, very alien-esque if you think about it. So with moving into these different eras and these different waves, Aquarius is all about taking a stand on what they want. Aquarius doesn't really listen to all the noise and commotion outside themselves. They say, this is what I want, and I don't really care what anybody says, thinks, or how they view it. I don't really care. I'm going to do it because I want to and because it's what's best for me. So you have to, when you're coming into your purpose, do it because you want to, which means doing it from your heart. It means I have a desire to do this. I want to do this. It might not be what society wants me to do. It might not be what my parents have set up for me. It might not be what is best for my friends' lives or my parents' lives or whatever the case is, but it's what's best for me. So when you're finding your purpose, you have to be really strong in what you want for yourself. And you also have to take the time to learn about yourself, to figure out what you want. A lot of healing and growing and transforming is breaking down all those beliefs that your teachers and parents have instilled in you from the time you're born until now, that tell you you can't go far without a college degree. You have to make this amount of money in order to live. You have to have a degree to be successful. You have to start a business to be a millionaire. You have to do this, you have to do that. Or your parents might say, oh, that's not a real career. You should look into going to school. Or, oh no, that might be unattainable. Why don't you try something a little more realistic? I'm here to tell you that the bigger your dreams are, the bigger your life and your results are going to be. If you can daydream and you can visualize a life for yourself without the interjection of anybody in your life, you're already starting a process to cultivate and manifest what you want. You have to be really strong and be able to be alone and be able to be in silence and be able to sit with yourself to cultivate inspiration and happiness to create that future life that you want without putting judgment and pressure on anything that comes in. You cannot control how it's going to unfold, but you can manifest what you want. Sit there and watch it just unfold and pick up the opportunities like they're candy on the ground. Oh, here's one. I see and I recognize that as an opportunity to evolutionize my future and my soul. You also have to be aware of what you want versus what the world tells you you might want. There are different perspectives on what wealth is. People think that wealth and status are the same thing. They think I'm not successful and I'm not wealthy unless I'm a millionaire, unless I'm on TV, unless I have hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram, on YouTube. I am not successful unless I have a perfect body. I'm not successful unless I'm drop dead gorgeous. I'm not successful unless the outside of me looks perfect to everybody outside of me. I urge you to shift that perspective and understand that wealth is an energy. It's a feeling. I'm wealthy. I get maybe 30 to almost 200 views on a video, but I do it because I love it. Because I didn't get to do this for years because I was surviving. I didn't get to be a teenage girl and stand in front of a camera like she should have been years ago, figuring out who she was. I didn't get to do that. But to me, this is what my inner child would have done. She liked doing her hair, her makeup, taking pictures. She liked doing videos. She liked creating from a personal standpoint. She liked sharing. She liked talking about things that made her excited. But I had to survive for a lot of that time. And so I wasn't able to bring those qualities out, and I really wasn't able to unlock that. So that's huge. You have to really do things because you want to do them. And what that looks like as far as becoming successful for yourself and your idea of what successful is. People don't want things. They might tell you that they want things, but people, what they really want is to be in the right space with the right people, holding the right intentions. You want to be surrounded by and having experiences with people that resonate with you and with people that believe in similar things that you do and that can hold space and support the person that you want to become and that you already are. You already are what you want to become. You already are perfect. And just because it's not the idea or perspective or perception about what you've grown up to think is perfect, you're perfect. Just because something also doesn't feel perfect doesn't mean it isn't happening perfectly. So when you're finding your purpose, you got to look at everything. You got to go really, really, really deep inside yourself and get so comfortable and so confident that you become humble in that process, because you understand nobody in this entire world is either above or below you. And that absolutely nothing in this world, no situation is happening against you but for you. It's happening to get you to the place that you want to be. It's happening for your evolution. It's there to show you everything. When you're hurt and you're in pain, pain is our greatest motivator. Pain does things for us that feeling happy and positive all the time would never do, because you would never see the other side of it. You have to see both sides of it to balance it out and become neutral with it. This stuff gives me a lot of passion. I get really, really excited about it. And finding purpose and passion is exciting. It should be exciting. You should daydream. You should zone out and just imagine what your life will be like. Not what it could be like, what it will be like. You have to believe with every fiber of your being that you can literally have absolutely anything that you want. But it has to also align with love. Sometimes our desires don't align with unconditional love. They align with maybe some shadows. So those are times where you have to look inside yourself too. If you're not getting something that you really want, maybe it's not for you. Maybe it's not gonna help you in your evolution, and maybe there's a lesson in it somewhere. So you have to hold the lessons a little bit higher too when we're stepping into our path. I started my healing process thinking it was something totally different than what it's ended up to be. I never, ever, ever, ever thought I'd be here. Back in October of last year, so October 2018, that's when I took my first theta class. I remember doing it to get rid of all of these beliefs so that I could marry my masculine and feminine side, never really knowing what that actually meant. And we did an exercise where we were doing future readings. My mentor, he said he doesn't like doing future readings because energy shifts and changes. I do believe that too. I believe that, you, from one day to another, your ideas, your thoughts, your beliefs, your feelings are going to change because outside influences and internal influences. When you start growing yourself, you start changing your outer experience. When you start changing your beliefs, you start changing your outside experience. That's where, when we want something to change outside of us, you have to change it inside first. If you want somebody to be something, you have to be that first, or you have to love that about yourself first, or not judge that about other people first. When you want something to happen for you, you have to make sure that you're resonating and moving in a direction that's going to support that future. You have to start changing yourself inside before you can recognize that change happen outside. That's that ripple effect, because it is a mirror and a reflection of you. So he said he didn't like doing future readings. I don't blame him, but we ended up doing an exercise where each person was sitting back to back, and it was kind of, you had to choose which person you wanted to sit behind, and we each read each other from there. Nobody knew who they were sitting behind, so you didn't know. And he and I ended up getting each other. I don't really know how that happened, but it did. I was so frustrated that I didn't get anything for him. And it was just my own thoughts and insecurities getting in the way of, I don't see anything, which seeing is totally different than what I always thought it was. I do see things, but sometimes when it comes easy to us, we can feel like we're not doing anything. So I started to cry because I was like, I'm not getting anything for you. I feel really bad. But he's already doing what he's supposed to do. So how could I have seen a future for him? He's already doing it. He, for me, said, I see this person, and I remember breaking down because I was like, well, I don't want that for my life. Or, I'm so afraid of standing up in front of people. That'll never be me. He said, I see this person in front of crowds and crowds of people speaking about their life and how their past got them to where they are now, and how what they did is moving them to where they are. He said, I see them public speaking in front of crowds and crowds of people. I just broke down because I was like, that's never gonna be me. I'm never gonna be able to speak in front of crowds of people. I'm too scared. I don't know how to speak in front of people. When I do start speaking in front of people, I get choked up and I start crying. But I've spent so much time becoming comfortable with speaking my truth and speaking from my heart and what I want to share, that it's now spiraled into an entire newfound love for things that I never thought I would want to do, like psychology, philosophy, the healing arts. I never thought I'd be in a place where I'd be talking even in front of a camera and posting it on YouTube. Like I said, I don't have the biggest following yet, but I do it because I want to do it. I do it because I want to share with people that on a daily basis I don't really get to. I'm so busy at work. There's a personalities test. I urge people to check into it. I love doing these tests. It's called 16 Personalities. You take a little test, like 20 minutes long, and it gives you acronyms for based off of what your personality type is. I used to be INFJ, and since all these shifts, it's become INFPT, which is I'm like 83% intuitive, 76% introvert, a couple of other things, but I'm called the mediator. And this is somebody who is a healer. The listing of jobs for them is healing arts. So recognizing, what your role is in this world, understand yourself, and, look into what you want to do. I never thought I'd end up public speaking, but I'm doing this because I really want to get out there. I deal with people on a daily basis. I don't really ever get to share with them. I do with my clients that I'm comfortable with, but you have to use discernment too when you're in a place of business. So it's kind of hard for me to really get stuff out there and share with you. And honestly, by the time I'm done work and dealing with so many people, I kind of just want to come home and be alone. That's a trait of an INFPT. We are people, but we're introverts. I love people, but I need my alone time a lot. I need to recover. I need to build inspiration. I really like being alone. But there's a misconception with introverts. Introverts love connection, but they love deep connection. They love things that are really real. I don't really like having connections unless I can talk about this kind of stuff, unless I can be absolutely vulnerable with you. If I can't be vulnerable with you, which I see as a strength, I probably won't associate with you, because you're either going to get the realest me, or I'm just going to kind of step out, because that's what my world is. My world is deep. I really like it to be deep. So you have to recognize what works for you and what you really like to do, and understand that if it's what you want to do and some people aren't going to follow you and aren't going to be on board with it, that's okay. Because when you're doing something with the intention of love, like I talked about, you're going to attract more people that are doing it with love. You can't do things based off of fear of losing people or fear of not having connections, because you're going to be connected because you're connected to yourself. When you're connected to yourself, you're connected to others. When you're connected to yourself, you're connected to the world. You have to connect yourself. So have fun with it and learn about yourself. Learn about your birthday. Birthdays are so much fun. People think it's a bunch of mumbo jumbo, but it's a lot of fun. I am going to talk about myself for a minute. I'm really excited this year. My birthday's 2/20/2020. I turned 25. I don't think it's any coincidence. It's super exciting. I'm on the cusp of Aquarius and Pisces, which is the cusp of sensitivity. There is no coincidence that we're moving from an age of Pisces into Aquarius. There is no coincidence that for the last few years I was in my own age of Pisces and am now finally moving into my own personal age of Aquarius, where I am understanding and believing and cultivating a life based off of the new belief systems, computer programs, and alien thoughts that I've acquired over the last few years with this awakening. 220, master number 22, which is master creator, master builder. They are alchemists. They understand that their purpose is to create and build. I love creating things and building things. I also love connection with people who are willing to co-create with me. Things are done bigger and better when you're doing it with a bunch of people. You can manifest things really quickly and a lot easier when you're doing it with groups of people or even an intimate partner. So look into your birthday. This year, with turning 25 and it being 220, 20, 20, that's 4 2s. That is the vibration 4 times the number 2, which is a life path number. This number urges us to step into our life path. So I'm super excited about it. You can get a natal chart done online if you know where and when you were born. It can give you a lot more insight into maybe a blueprint of what you might be here to do. It'll give you clues. It's not always exact because you are still an individual who has free will and can change their life, which is the great thing about being a sentient being and a human. You don't have to be exactly what you were given. You can change it and you can rewrite your own script, but have fun with it. Do your personality test, figure out who you are, have some alone time, and be alone to cultivate your happiness, and you will most definitely see it outside of you. I'm gonna cut this off now. It's gone into a long video, but I am happy about it. I'm gonna send unconditional love through every cell in your body. I love you guys. I'll continue doing these videos weekly whenever I get the inspiration for it. So I hope you guys have a great week.